There's space weather! Major earthquake activities, and the stock market's tank. Also, there appears to be a sunspot rising on the incredibly active eastern region, as we can see here in the 304 angstroms view. Check it out. Appears to be a sunspot. It is not yet named. In any case, it is very active. Let's look at some other bandwidths. (171 angstroms). A lot of filamentary activity all over the surface. Small active region rotating past the Earth-facing disk. Here's your magnet lines. Could be a sunspot. Definitely not named yet. Now, let's move out of the normal zone here. Let's cover a little about me section. So, I used to be a day trader. 1999 and 2000, I was a tech specialist. And yes, my portfolio did much better than the rest of the tech sector. Why am I saying this? Well, because all the major indices were down yesterday. The Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the bond market. Now, when the stock market plunges and the bond market goes down at the same time, that's a bad news for U.S. currency. And you notice gold and silver are now up. So, that is an indication that we are entering a bear market. Notice all of the major world indices are also down. And if you thought you could hide in cryptos, well, all the major cryptocurrencies were down also. Maybe it's a good time to buy into those, but I don't think so. I think you want to be chasing that gold and silver and other commodities. Now, the earthquake swarm that started last night has not yet ended. We got a 7.0 in Papua New Guinea, and it didn't stop there. They're getting repeated aftershocks in the high 5 range and low 6 range, including some at deep depths. But since then, Russia has begun to get hit. There's been a 6.5, another deep one in the Fiji Islands at a 5, and many, many aftershocks in Russia, all around a 5 level. Indonesia's still getting hit. So major earthquake unrest. Japan received a 5.7. And Alaska just got another 4.8. So lots of earthquakes. Also, we've got some weather situations going on here. The southeast U.S. is about to be hit with Hurricane Michael. The most intense part of the storm is exiting Georgia and entering South Carolina right now. Just what they don't need on its way to North Carolina to further flood that state. Let's look at the space weather data. We did have a small B-class flare yesterday, and the X-ray flaring is moving up a little bit, I believe from that rising active region on the eastern limb of the sun. Nothing too exciting with the solar wind data. Although the wind speed is still above 500 kilometers per second, the density is still fairly flat, staying below 10 protons per cubic centimeter. Magnetometer is getting steep. KP index has come back down to 3. And once again, the electron flux is the story. Very high levels of electron flux. These levels of electron flux were associated with the really large, deep earthquake off of Fiji. What was it, an 8.1 at nearly 600 kilometers depth? That earthquake occurred with these sort of electron flux levels. Could be a coincidence, could be related. It's very hard to tie these particular things together. We can see the charging hazards pretty much around the planet. And the F2 ionosphere layer is a bit on the charged side. There's your auroras. Close things out by looking at this active region. Actually, let's look at the entire disk here because there's lots of filaments going on. In any case, hey, thanks everybody for viewing. Thank you, subscribers. Please don't forget to like and share the videos. And remember, may the wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your arteries.